Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we break down the financial secrets of companies. And today we are going to walk into Orrstown Financial Services as they just released their quarterly report. And let me tell you, it has a few interesting tidbits about their dividend payout, which is always a crowd pleaser. Before we dive in, if you appreciate getting these straight to the point financial breakdowns, make sure you hit subscribe and the notification bell. We also have a thriving community over on Discord where we discuss these filings in real time, so check the link in the description below. Orrstown Financial Services Inc. is a regional financial services company. Think of them as your friendly neighborhood bank with a bit of investment muscle. They handle banking services for individuals and businesses, sort of like your local bank. But they also have a reach that extends beyond just your street. The report we are dissecting today is a Form 8K, which is like a special bulletin filed with the Securities and Exchange Commission or SEC whenever something big happens with a publicly traded company. In this case, the big news dropped on July 22nd, 2025. Just to set the stage, Orrstown trades on the Nasdaq under the ticker symbol ORRF. This means it's a company that the general public can invest in, and their stock performance is watched closely by investors. The first really juicy part of this filing is all about how the company is doing financially. Specifically, they are reporting their results for the quarter that ended on June 30th, 2025. This is where we get to see the nitty-gritty of their performance. They've attached their earnings press release to this official filing. Think of this press release as the company's own announcement of its performance. It's usually written to put their best foot forward, highlighting the good news and framing the not so good news in the most favorable light. We'll be digging into what that press release really tells us. Now, this section deals with something called Regulation FD, which essentially means that when a company releases information, they have to make sure everyone gets it at the same time. They can't give a heads up to just a select few investors. It's all about fairness in information sharing. To make sure everyone's on the same page, Orrstown also put out an investor presentation on their website. This is another piece of the puzzle, usually offering charts, graphs, and a more visual story of their financial health. We've got a copy of that too, and it's going to help us put the numbers from the press release into context. And here's some news that many investors love to hear. The board of directors, the folks in charge of steering the company, have decided to pay out a cash dividend. They're giving shareholders 27 cents for every share they own. This dividend will be paid out on August 12th to anyone who owned the stock by August 5th. This is a direct return of profits to the shareholders, which is a great sign that the company is generating enough cash to reward its investors. It's not a massive amount per share, but for a company of this size and nature, it's a positive signal. It tells us the company is not just growing, but also sharing that growth with the people who invested in it. So we have the press release itself, which is our primary source for the quarterly earnings announcement. This document would typically detail revenue, profits, and key operational highlights. It's the company's official statement on how they performed during the quarter. Then we have the investor presentation that came out a day later. This presentation likely distills the information from the press release into a more digestible format, often with visual aids that highlight the key financial metrics and strategic talking points. And of course, the report is signed off by company officials confirming the accuracy of the information. In this case, it's signed by Nilesh Kalani, who holds the important title of Executive Vice President and Chief Financial Officer. This signature is like a seal of approval saying, yes, this information is correct and we stand by. Let's look at the core financials which tell the real story. While the filing itself doesn't contain detailed financial tables we can directly analyze here, it references exhibits that do. The press release and investor presentation are where the numbers are. Based on the information that this 8K is communicating, Orrstown Financial Services is reporting its earnings for the quarter ending June 30, 2025. What this means for Orrstown is that they are actively communicating their financial status to the market, which is standard practice for publicly traded companies. The declaration of a dividend suggests a level of confidence from the management team in the company's current financial health and its ability to generate consistent cash flow. A dividend of 0.27 per share, while not a dramatic increase, signals stability and a commitment to shareholder returns. For investors, this means they can expect a tangible return on their investment, which can be particularly attractive in a stable market or for income-focused investors. This means they can expect a tangible return on their investment, which can be particularly attractive in a stable market or for income-focused investors. Per share, while not a dramatic increase, signals stability and a commit to shareholder returns. For investors, this means they can expect a tangible return on their investment, which can be particularly attractive in a stable market or for income-focused investors. However, without the actual financial tables, it's hard to go into a deep Warren Buffett-style analysis of specific numbers like revenue growth, net interest margin, or asset quality. Typically, a bank's performance is judged on metrics like these and how they compare to previous periods and to their competitors. The fact that they are paying a dividend is a positive, but it doesn't tell us if their core lending business is thriving or if their investment portfolio is performing well. We need to consider that the press release summaries often manage to present the best possible picture. A dividend is a strategic decision. It implies they have excess capital after covering their operational costs and reinvesting in the business. This excess capital could be a sign of strong profitability, or it could be a sign of slower growth opportunities, leading them to return capital to shareholders rather than investing it back into the company. For, say, expanding their branch network or developing new digital banking services. The external context here is that the banking industry is often sensitive to interest rate changes and the overall economic climate. If interest rates are high, banks can often profit more from lending, but they also face higher costs for deposits. If the economy is slowing down, loan defaults can increase, impacting profitability. We don't have that economic context in this filing, but it's crucial background for understanding Orrstown's actual performance. For instance, if their competitors are struggling or cutting dividends, Orrstown's decision to pay one would stand out even more as a strength. Looking ahead, a key risk for a company like Orrstown would be increased competition both from traditional banks and from newer fintech companies. They also face regulatory risks as financial institutions are heavily regulated. Opportunities might lie in leveraging technology to improve customer experience, expanding into underserved markets, or finding strategic acquisition targets. In conclusion, Orrstown Financial Services is signaling a stable period with its dividend announcement. It's a positive indicator of profitability and a commitment to shareholders. However, without the detailed financial statements referenced in the exhibits, it's difficult to assess the underlying strength of their business operations, the quality of their loan portfolio, or their growth prospects. This filing is more of an announcement of a shareholder-friendly action, rather than a deep dive into operational performance indicators. What's your take on Orrstown's dividend announcement and what it might mean for their business? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, please give this video a thumbs up. It really supports the channel. And remember to subscribe for more regular dives into corporate filings. Don't forget to join our Discord community. The link is in the description, and it's a great place to chat about these companies and share your own insights. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.